Hi everyone, I'm Beth in Texas and this is Cast Off Wednesday. I have stuff to show you this week. I know I didn't put a video up in a while. This first thing I have to show you is this loom knit hat. It's got the cuff. I did it on the green Nifty Knitter loom, which is the next to largest one in the set of 4. And then I used their basic cuffed hat pattern. But then I went to Kristen at Good Knit Kisses and used her video, her method to reduce the stitches so it's not as bulky in the crown of the hat. And that's what it looks like. It's hard to see with this multicolored yarn, but you don't see all that puckering and bumps and stuff that you see with the regular reduced when you drawstring it closed. Now this loom makes the hat pretty snug, and there is a purple loom available online that I got. I want to say it was Sears.com that I found the purple loom. I haven't got it in yet. It'll be in someday this week. It'll be just a little bit bigger than this one. The next bigger loom that comes in the set is too big for a hat, so the purple loom should make an ideal hat size. So I used a strand of baby boucle, and then there's another boucle yarn. I don't know if it was Clouds or which one it was, but I double stranded boucle yarn and it made it really thick and warm. And the reason I use boucle yarn on the loom is because it's nearly impossible to crochet. So I have had more boucle yarn I got at Big Lots at a good price. So that's what I made this out of. And this is one of those combination projects. It can be a throw, it can be a baby blanket, it can be a wheelchair lap robe. And I used the blue long loom from Nifty Knitter to do this. And I used just a regular I don't know what it's called, the stitches where but it's not where you twist it, where you don't cross over the threads. But I did the twisted knit or the E-wraps on the ends, so it kind of gives it almost a cuff at the end. See that? See the difference right there? The difference in that. And so that's what I did. So yeah, this can be worn over the shoulders like a short shawl. It stops at the elbows. It can be down here on the lap, and it's long enough to go down to the ankles on a wheelchair, but it's narrow so it won't hang down into the wheels. It can also be used for a baby blanket. So I think I already told you that, but anyway, oh well. I don't have any ceramics to show you today, but I do have some finds that I found. I went to Tuesday Morning and they had some ceramics tools. Well, they called them polymer clay tools, but they're the same thing we use in ceramics. And they just came in a package with the plastic over it, you know. It wasn't a case or anything with it. But then this week I went in and I found this crochet hook case. It's got the double zipper so that you can just open it like this. But I'm going to open it all the way and show you what's inside. There's brushes I stuck in these crochet hook pockets, and this is the this one is the awl, and it has a sharp point on it, so I put a point protector for knitting needles on that. And then this pocket here has my Scotch-Brite, my sandpaper sponge, and my regular sponge in it. And then over here I have my brushes, this is a scraper tool, and this is a wire brush for cleaning up the ceramics. And if it's like an ornament with a hole in the top, you can clean that up a little bit. And then my fine line brushes, and then there's another brush. This brush here I don't really use to paint with. I use this when I clean up the piece. I brush the dust off with it. So this is a crochet hook case, but I have way more hooks than what would fit in here anyway, but it's perfect for my ceramics tools. And then they also had knitting needle case that matches this. And again, I have way too many sets of knitting needles to fit in one case. I have a case this size for knitting needles and it's full. And then I have a canister that's full of knitting needles as well. And then I have my cable needles all in another thing. So I have a lot more tools than I'll probably ever use all at once. But this here has a button with an elastic that you just unbutton and it unfolds. And there's a pocket here I could put stitch holders or whatever in it, a ruler, whatever I want. But here it is, and it's got this plastic flap over it so they're not going to slide out of the top. So I'm going to flip that over. And down here are I have all my Tunisian crochet hooks in here, all except for my Denise ones. Of course, they come in their own case. So there's my wooden one, and there's this one, and then there's a couple of cabled Tunisian hooks here in the bottom. And then here's my other ones at the top. This is a double-ended one. I can tell the difference at a glance because I put them hook side down, and when there's a hook sticking up, I know that's the double-ended hook. So I have all my Tunisian hooks in a case, neatly tucked away and easily found when I'm ready to do a project. So I have these, and I got these at Tuesday Morning at a really great price too. So this is the only color they had was the pink, but I like pink, so that's no problem. I understand that there's some other stores, I saw them online that they had some in a stripe, so I'm sure there are other colors out there. But I recommend you check out Tuesday Morning because they often have the high-end yarns there on sale. You get it for less than half the price than what you would at a yarn shop. Now, it's not your Walmart price stuff. This, okay, you know how Big Lots is a discount store, and they'll have stuff like you find at Walmart and Kmart and Target, things like that. Well, Tuesday Morning is, you'll find the things that they had at Macy's and the bigger higher end stores, and they'll have the designer purses and things like that. So it's still a discount place, but it's just a different quality of products. So that was my haul, and that's what I have to show you. I do have some crocheted items. I'm going to show them briefly because I had those in my other video. Here is my Mother Bear number 12. And I gave him a collar instead of a scarf because I ran out of green yarn. And then I have this throw. I took granny squares, well, not really granny squares, but they're squares from different Afghan patterns, and I made one square from different patterns each, and I made 9 squares. I blocked them to size. I had to add some rows on some of them. And then I put them together with a continuous join, and I came out with this lap robe, or lap throw, whatever you want to call it. And I think most of these were from a book, so I can't really share those patterns, but this one here, it's called the 16 Circle Square. There is an online photo tutorial for this. And it looks like there were 16 separate squares that you made and sewn them together, but that's not how it's done. So I will leave a link below the video to that tutorial. If you liked seeing my projects, you need to check out the other cast-off crew members' videos, see what they've been doing. We've got a lot of really talented people out here, and just click the show more button below this video and it'll open up the page and it'll have all the links to the other cast-off crew members' videos. So I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time.